Greetings everyone, Siyanqoba Mthethwa here. I'm back with yet again another episode. I'm very happy. I have a good friend and a brother to me, Unathi Mzekeli. He actually needs no introduction. I mean, a lot of you know his brilliant works out there. He's worked with the likes of Joy Celebration. He's worked with countless other artists that you see out there. He's been traveling the world because of his amazing gift. He's got an EP out called Ihambo Nokumkani, and he'll also be featuring on my upcoming project. So I'm excited, to have all this greatness here in my house. So it's amazing for me. Man, thank you for coming. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm well. I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm alive. I think that's what matters right now. Like,
yeah. Hey, especially
being alive.
in these times.
Yeah.
Life is such a precious thing.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Too much.
Yeah, man. I invited you here so we can talk. There's a lot that people see about you, but it's just on the surface. They see what you do. I would love for them to see the other things that they don't usually see when they see you on stage.
Yeah.
So I'd ask you to talk more about that, who Unathi is, and what it really took for you to be where you are.
Wow.
I know you have a mouthful.
It hasn't been an eventless journey. It's been quite eventful. Look, I'm PK from East London. I've been singing basically for as long as I've been able to think and be conscious. I've been singing. I grew up in a very musical family. My mother and father are singers. My siblings are singers, and I think from the age of like 11, 12, I started singing with my parents in a choir that they formed. So music has just always been a part of my life, and I often say that before Jesus became the reason for my living, music was the reason for my living.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's a good intro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's amazing, man. So, take us through. I mean, this is you at home. I can imagine now and then you'd have evenings at home where you sing.
Yeah. I'll go with this. I grew up experiencing a whole lot of rejection and emotional abuse. And so music was like a really something that held me together, because if I couldn't express it, I could sing it.
Yeah.
And so music was just my way of or rather God's way, because God used music in my life to just express certain things, because certain things I couldn't speak about to my parents, certain things I couldn't, or rather if I do speak about it, it wouldn't resonate with them. I had to be independent in terms of my emotional health, if you can put it that way. And so God really played, or rather he used music to play a big part in me healing of many of those instances where I felt low. I felt like I didn't have a reason to live. I'm sorry to make it gloomy, but that's just where it starts with me. So music became that for me, and I remember I'll make an example. I would come home, mnage, I'd be made fun of endlini, by my siblings, because it's just sibling banter. On my way to school, always walked to school, I'd be made fun of, and then at school, I'd be made fun of. So it would really just weigh on me. Yeah. So whenever I'd come home from school, I would sit. I can play, but not as good as you. I just know somewhat, and so I would always take the keyboard and go to my room, and I'll close myself in my room and just start singing, and start playing and singing, and that was therapy for me. Yeah. To just, because music made me feel as if I have a reason to live, because I could do something that other kids couldn't do. So it was my niche. It's what I held on to, because I think if I wasn't as good, if I can put it that way, or passionate about music as I was, I would have committed suicide and succeeded. So yeah, it's been an intense journey, but God has been good. And Soge, from that, I started singing professionally in East London, doing backing and all of that stuff in 2002. I was in high school. I just started high school, and so this is Nobatembu. We went to the same church, AOG Gwatu, Mdantsane, and I remember she just came and parked in front of my home in East London, and she was like, "What beep?" He's like, "Shy bell, beep beep." So I went out. I came out, and she's like, "Unathi ne?" I'm like, "And Unathi." Yeah, was too alto. I was like, "And I was too alto." Masambe, and that was that. And then I started working with her, just like that. So I started working with her and other artists over the years, doing backing for her and other artists. So, and then, yeah, now my weekends were never just chill. Yeah, but my weekends were going out to sing, even with my parents, in primary school. Other kids would have weekends where they went to play with friends. Yeah. Now I had to wear a suit and go to funerals because we had to sing. Yeah. And it was almost every weekend. Yeah. And then in 2007, Nobatembu launched her album in East London, and that's when I met Utatu Lindelani and Utatu Chapo. In actual fact, when she got into Joy Celebration, I don't know whether in Joyous 9 or Joyous 10, that's when I saw that it was possible for me to be part of the choir. Prior to that, I didn't know much about the choir, and I wasn't really that interested in it because we'd listen to a lot of Benjamin Dube and Rebecca Malope and also some of the East London artists, so we didn't do much of the national artists. So Joy Celebration, only when she became part of it, then it became part of my radar, and I started to have faith that I'm going to be there one day. And so in 2007, when I met Utatu Lindelani, I saw it as God's way of saying, yeah, I want you here. Yeah. And then I auditioned in 2008. And then I joined the choir in 2009. Yeah. It was a big step.
Big jump. Yeah?
It was a very big jump for me.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't do like other kids is that I didn't go to university. Straight after high school, I was determined that I wanted to do music and do it full time. And I felt as if I want to do anything else, it's going to distract me from my first love, if you can put it like that, which was music. So I auditioned in 2008 and then joined the choir in 2009. Had a culture shock of my life because it's a bigger platform, I'm exposed to different cultures now. It's no longer East London, it's no longer Amaxhosa. It's a bigger spectrum. And yeah, it was quite a big jump. And in actual fact, I have a funny story. When I first day of rehearsal, when I arrived for the first day of rehearsal, it was my first time in Joburg. Okay, second time in Joburg, but first time going to live, because my first time was in 1997. That's a story for another day. Yeah. But I came in, baseline, and I stood outside. I had no reason for standing outside except for the fact that I was scared. I was literally scared to go in. All my insecurities came flooding in, all my, self-esteem issues, everything just came flooding in, and I was paralyzed. I stood outside by those trees outside baseline, and I think I stood there for like a good 2 hours. Sure. You know me as a punctual person, so...
Now, I'm interested in this one. I want us to go into the whole Joy Celebration experience in a minute. Mm-hmm. You touched on something that we've actually had a conversation about. I mean, earlier when you were speaking, you said people back at home used to make fun of you.
Yeah.
Would you mention a few of those insecurities, and would you say now you've actually overcome them, or is it a daily process to make sure that they don't hinder the dream that you have? You know?
Somehow nothing actually hindered. Even at a school level, because even in primary school I was singing. I was part of the choir. I remember one of the first things I did when I arrived at the new school was audition for the choir, and they had a play, a production, a theater production. And I was cast as one of the angels to sing in the theater production. So I was barely like 2 months into that school, and I was already singing. The one thing that always amazed me about when I look back is that I would see the kids making fun of me, literally pointing and laughing, pointing and saying, because I've always been overweight, and they would literally make fun of me. But the one thing that kept me at that stage and not running to hide was the fact that I'm about to sing.
Wow.
I'm about to do what makes me me.
Yeah.
So my gift was, my gift really made me to stomach, if I can put it that way, those moments. It's not that the insecurities were not there. It's not that I wouldn't feel I'm inferior and all of that. I would definitely, but the fact that I was about to sing, and when I sing, everyone keeps quiet.
Yeah.
That for me made it worth it. It made, because I would look and because eskolweni, you wouldn't ascend the stage. You would stand right in front of the stage, right next to the piano. And they had the wooden piano. So I'd stand right next to it, and the kids were sitting on the floor, and it was only the grade 7s at the back who were sitting on chairs. So, and the kids were like very close proximity to you. And I would hear what they're saying. Hear, oh my God, he's so fat. Oh my God, he's so big. And they would laugh. And what would keep me, as I say, it's the fact that, yes, I'm big. Yes, I'm different to you. But I'm about to do something that you're not able to do. And that's what makes me better than you at that time. Yeah. So I carried that with me through every single instant where I'd be on stage. That would be my number one thing, is that at the end of the day, right now I'm about to do something that makes me feel alive. Wow. So regardless of what you say, I'm about to live. So I'm good. I can tolerate what you have to say. I can stomach it, because this one thing what you are saying doesn't have the power to stop me from doing this one thing. So yeah, it became that. Singing became that for me. Primary school, high school, joy celebration, throughout, even till today, because it's not as if you get over those things, because with each and every stage of life, you encounter challenges of that stage. Yeah. And so you need to create some level of what do you call it, resistance. Yeah, well, because these things are not going to stop. The challenges are not going to stop. People won't stop being people, but you need to get stronger. Yeah. So I had to be stronger. I had to tell myself that, Bodhi, you have to be stronger. There's no other way. And with my faith, that also really helped me, because Umoya Ngcwele, before I knew who he was and his role and having a relationship with him, he'd always been there. Because I remember an instant in primary school, I was really tired, emotionally drained, because at school I'd experienced what I experienced at school. On my way home, people would roll down their windows just to throw an insult at me, as I'm walking home. I remember one time, I think on this day, I was walking home and there were 3 guys who were walking behind me. And one of these guys says, "Yo, if umntana mabe mngaka, hayibenza mbulala." So I'm busy walking home, and I'm the only one who's walking in front of them, and they're walking behind me. So I knew that was in reference to me.
Yeah.
So I remember I got home and I was just drained. I was just emotionally tired. I was like, look, it seems as if I'm not supposed to live, or if I'm living, I'm just not worth anything, because people just see me as what they see me. And I remember I was sitting by my bed and I kept hearing this voice say to me, I created you, I know you, and I love you, and I have purpose for you. Do not allow these things to get to you. I've created you, I love you. I created you, I love you. And so the Holy Spirit would often utter, if I don't sing that day and I'm just tired and I want to sleep, those are the words that would ring in my ear. So yeah, people will look at you on stage and think, my goodness, this person, this guy. And they don't know that the battles that we fought just to be able to stand on that stage.
Sure.
And do something that makes us, because there's just a burning inside that you just get with this, where you just feel as if there's nothing else you should be doing except this. Especially now that I found Christ, it makes it even more emphatic that this is where I should be. Yeah. This is what I should be doing, and I've allowed nothing to stand in my way of doing that.
Yeah. Whew, man.
Yeah, I know.
Quite a mouthful. I know. You can pour out your heart. Me and you, we have endless conversations. Yes. I really appreciate this, and I know people out there, have really picked something for themselves, to run with. Okay, enough talking, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't wait to hear this man sing. So after this really quick break, he's gonna sing for us. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Unathi is gonna sing for us. I can't wait. So let's hear it, man. What do you have for us?
Okay, so recently this hymn has been in my spirit. Also because ithandwa ngumama lately naye. And uLebusa Khobela did it. It's in the chant. It's in the melody. Tabelo taruna igama lengosi liyo inqaba ophephela khona dlala lo mfundini uya sindiswa ohlezi kulona agana kwesaba nokuba umhlaba uzanya zanyiswa libongwe ngabantu libongwe ngelosi alikho igama elihle njengalo. One more time. Libongwe ngabantu libongwe ngelosi alikho igama elihle njengalo. Okay, I wouldn't be me if I don't have my own arrangement. So I have my own arrangement. Well, I saw a video of these kids from CJC. They were doing this Ikamalengos, and they had the second part of this arrangement that I'm going to do now. And I asked them to give it to me. I was like, guys, please give me, this is nice. So I added to it, to what they'd already done. Goes, Ika, did I change key? Malenkosi, liyo inaba, ope, pela kona, uyagusindiswa, ohle, zikulona agana kwesa haba noku bamhlaba uzanyazaniswa libongwe limbongwe ingelosi alikho igama elihle njengalo. Turn around. Alikho igama elihle njengalo, ope phela khona uyagusindiswa. Yeah, it's my favorite song so far in life. Yeah.
Well, that's Unathi for you.
You know me.
Yeah, man. I mean, straight from
me.
the heart. You know, that's a beautiful thing about him. Whenever you listen to him, he opens up his chest and you see what he's talking about, what he's singing about.
Yeah,
so
no wish, guys.
I'm blessed, man. Anyways, we'll end it here, guys. This was a beautiful episode for me. Thank you for coming through, man. I know I've been bothering you to come.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed that episode. From me and Unathi Mzekeli, we love you guys. Till the next one.